يا ما نفسي عايش إنسان قلبه على كفه، كل اللي بردانين في كفوفه يتدفوا. يا ما نفسي عايش إنسان قلبه على كفه، كل اللي بردانين في كفوفه يتدفوا. يضحك يضحك خلق الله، يفرح يفرح كله معاه. إنسان جواك وجوايا، إنسان له حلم له.
Fatima Al-Fihri was the daughter of Muhammad Al-Fihri, a wealthy merchant from Qarawiyyin, Tunisia, who migrated to FES, Morocco, with his family in the 9th century. Fatima and her sister, Maryam Al-Fihri, were both very well educated. Both sisters promised to use the money inherited from their father to benefit the community. Fatima started off by planning to build a masjid called Al-Qarawiyyin, which was to be the largest in North Africa. It was in this construction that the University of Al-Qarawiyyin was founded. This university was one of the leading educational and spiritual focal point in the Muslim world. The university influenced and produced great thinkers, theorists, philosophers, travelers and writers. Many subjects were taught alongside the Qur'an and Islamic jurisprudence, fiqh, such as grammar, medicine, mathematics, astronomy, chemistry, history, geography and music. Other subjects such as natural sciences, physics and foreign languages were also introduced. We must understand the inheritance given to Fatima by her father was her right under Islamic law. We must also understand that Muslim women were encouraged and supported to participate and be beneficial towards society, whether it is in the form of a homemaker or a public educator. We must also understand it is not an easy task to plan, construct and build a masjid with a university without the permission and support of the Islamic leader. This highlights a bigger picture. Fatima achieved and fulfilled her noble goals, and it was Islam and the implementation of Islamic laws and rights for Muslim women that made this beautiful goal possible.
اللي معاه على طول مش ليه، ولا حتى روحه ملك ايديه. اللي معاه على طول مش ليه، ولا حتى روحه ملك ايديه. هو في قلبه من عليه.
You can hear the adhan for Zuhr Salah all over the Medina from on top of the Myrinid area.
شمس روحي وحي ربي، جنتي وحياة قلبي، فرحة القرآن وحبي، نور دربي وأماني. شمس روحي وحي ربي، جنتي وحياة قلبي، فرحة القرآن وحبي، نور دربي وأماني. مؤمن هذه سبيلي، أفضل الذكر دليلي، بينات محكمات حولت مجرى الزمان. مؤمن هذه سبيلي، أفضل الذكر دليلي، بينات محكمات حولت مجرى الزمان. حافظ حولي صحابي لمنا خير
يا ما نفسي عايش إنسان قلبه على كفه، كل اللي بردانين في كفوفه يتدفوا. يا ما نفسي عايش إنسان قلبه على كفه، كل اللي بردانين في كفوفه
شمس روحي وحي ربي جنتي وحياة قلبي فرحتي القرآن وحبي نور دربي وأمان.
So from Tangier, as you can see the famous Spain. You can just about see it. I can see it myself, but I don't know how the camera shows it. The shadow in the back. It's the land of Spain. This is the port of Tangier. You have to understand the Morocco that we see today, it wasn't like that. The region was very big, it was huge. It was known as a region, not specifically a country. So Al-Andalus was just across the water of Tangier, which is where I am at the moment. And it took us about roughly 5 hours to get from FES to Tangier, and now we're going back the next day. It's going to take us 5 hours, inshallah. So what's so special about Tangier? Have you heard of a famous Moroccan scholar and traveller in the name of Ibn Battuta? He was actually born in Tangier, and he was one of the greatest Muslim travellers at that time. He actually wrote a book called Rihla, Travels, where he was covering the space of 75,000 miles trips from Muslim countries, and then as far as China and Sumatra, which is known as Indonesia today. So he went to Syria, he went to Al-Quds in Palestine, he went to Cairo, he went to Mecca, Medina. He travelled, can you imagine, from literally Tangier to all the way down there. So he's travelled a lot. There are records that say that he was Berber descent, so he's born into a family of Islamic legal scholars. So Fez wasn't like a location or a place that people lived in. It was actually a place where people would stop over, like a hotel, like a service station, yeah? So basically that's where they would stop over, and then they would go to Umrah and Hajj. So it was a stopover to go to Mecca. And that's why Fatima Al-Fihri and her sister Maryam Al-Fihri, when they came to that region, they used all their money and thought, let's do something for the community. Yeah, let's do something for the community. And that's when they built the Masjid and university for the community there. And then obviously the Old Medina became a big trade point at that time. So it's one of the oldest cities in the world. So, and that's in North Africa, alhamdulillah. Al-Qarawiyyin Masjid is open for Muslims. When we were there, we seen lots of tourists walk past, non-Muslims. They're not allowed to actually enter. So inshallah, we're going to be going there for Jum'ah tomorrow. I'll see if I can do some clips for you. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
يا ما نفسي عايش إنسان قلبه على كفه كل اللي بردانين في كفوفه يتدفوا يا ما نفسي عايش إنسان قلبه على كفه كل اللي بردانين في كفوفه يتدفوا يضحك يضحك خلق
لا يؤمن أحد سأكون أحبته من والده وولده جعل الله إياكم ممن اتقى واهتدى واقتدى ورحمه الله واستمع وصلى الله وسلم على الشهيد الشفاح صاحب الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر
يا ما نفسي عايش إنسان قلبه على كفه كل اللي بردانين في كفوفه يتدفوا يا ما نفسي عايش إنسان قلبه على كفه كل اللي بردانين في كفوفه يتدفوا يضحك يضحك خلق الله يفرح يفرح كله معاه إنسان جواك وجوايا إنسان له حلم له غاية إنسان جواك وجوايا إنسان له حلم له غاية اللي معاه على طول مش ليه ولا حتى روحه ملك ايديه اللي معاه على طول مش ليه ولا حتى روح.
Just some thoughts that I wanted to share with you in regards to my trip in FES. We did stay for a week and that was a full 7 days, alhamdulillah. And me and my husband, we specifically chose to stay there because I said as well, I want to stay within the center of where the people are living, yeah? And why is that? Because we wanted to eat with them and we wanted to share our experiences with them, we wanted to speak with them, we wanted to mingle with them, and we also traveled with them. So it was really, really good experience, and I think that's what I took away the most. It wasn't just the beautiful sceneries and the amazing historic monuments there, and so we went there to connect with the Ummah, literally to connect with the Ummah there. And I tell you one thing, I've been to lots of places. I've been to Palestine, I've been to Turkey many times, I've been to Cairo, I've been, alhamdulillah, lots of places, but one thing I love is the love of the Ummah in Fez. It's really sweet. We literally walked from the rich area to where the shopping centre is, the 5-star hotels are, the better straight roads, you know, no mud, no nothing, air-conditioned areas, and then we walked through literally the ghettos. Really narrow streets, kids playing with the football. When I say ghetto, I don't mean in a bad way. I just mean you could tell that they're living in poorer conditions. Yeah, so you can see there's no lighting around the area. The houses are really, you can tell that they're quite small and dark, etc. So, you know, we literally walked through the rich and the poor areas, and you can see the blatant contrast between that. When we went to the shopping centre, we were eating, and I just sat there and I was like, so to be honest, it is possible to have air-conditioned place, good lighting, good, you know, radio services, TV. There's everything's possible, right? Nice tiled floors. It was better than London, I tell you. I'm a Londoner, and I've been to obviously West End. If you want to compare West End and White City, Westfield and stuff, I'll be honest with you, the Fez, forget Marrakesh and forget Agadir, the Fez shopping centre was really beautiful, really nice. Even the airport, much nicer than Heathrow, I tell you. You know that it is possible. It's not like, oh, you know, the poor areas, we can't do nothing about that. Yes, there is money, there's things available. And the other thing I realised as well, when I was sitting on the train, right, from Fez to Tangier and back, it took us more than 4 hours, so just under 5 hours we reached back to our hotel. And you know what, it was vast lands, empty space. I tell you, empty space. There was greenery, there was dry land, hills, trees, plain lands, and you think, wow, 5-hour stretch. And you can see a little old lady sitting on the donkey, just sitting there being carried with an old man, and you think, honestly, they can definitely have better lives. So I think, and that's not just in Morocco, please don't get me wrong, yeah, Morocco is a beautiful, traditional, cultural land. I'm talking about generally the Muslim lands. You can see that blatant contrast, you know, there's not the same sort of houses or the same kind of system. It's not really like that. There's blatant poor and the rich. You could see that, you know, blatant. So that made me really think, you know, all these people that are homeless, because in the Medina, when we were walking, there was obviously a lot of people that were sitting on the streets. An old man that me and my husband used to pass every single day and night, he's sitting in the corner with the chickens, right? He's not selling them, they're not his. He's just literally lying there in the corner and just watching people pass. You know, he wasn't begging, he wasn't asking for money, he was just watching people pass, and he was really old, and you could tell, you know, he probably didn't have a wash for a long time. Telling me there's no home for this guy. You know, there was a man who had no legs, so basically he's got no bottom limbs, and he just sits there in his little corner as well and just watches people walk past. And if you give him salams and you smile at him, he gets so happy, like he's got, you know, like he's the happiest person on earth. That's the age of my mum, and I really love her, because from day one she was sitting in basically with Bab al-Jud, where we were going in the hotel. It's within the Medina, yeah, so you have to go through some narrow roads, within narrow roads, and then obviously get to a hotel. So she was sitting at the end of our narrow road, and she just sat there with a tray of a packet of tissues, you know, not pushing anybody by it, please, this much dirham, nothing. She was just sitting there with a smile. So every time I would go and exchange salams to her, biggest radiant smile. I loved that. I loved that. Sometimes, you know, I think living in the UK as well, where it's so busy, right? Life is so busy, no one's got time to even stand and say hello or give salams, you know? It's become so far away from connection. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a social media side to it, the internet connection and all that, but you know, like real human connection, real human communication. I really found that in Fez. And generally the elderly, if you talk to them, I can't understand what they're speaking, because obviously some of them speak with the Berber Moroccan dialect and mixed with a bit of Arabic. I don't understand that. And they don't understand English because most of them speak French. And within Tangier, they obviously speak Spanish. So because obviously when the colonization happened, France colonized these areas, so Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, yeah. So most of them, their education, everything is from the French language, right? Just as we in the Indian subcontinent speak English, right? So it's English studies and curriculum, etc. So communication was a bit hard, but you know what? Even with that, the full-on communication, we had good conversations, we were engaging, they wanted to know. People would stop you in the middle of the road and say, oh, you know, Assalamu alaikum, where are you from? And this happens generally every land you go, you know, people have an interest, they want to talk to you, engage with you. But here, they were stopping you, they wanted to speak, they wanted to know who you are, they wanted to know what you like, they wanted to know what you think of Morocco, they wanted to know what you think of Islam. And it was just something else, it was really, really nice. Playing with the elderly there, right? So there's elderly who have shops, say like the chicken shop. I remember there's a man there. So a young brother comes past and he's tickling him and he's joking about something in their language. The older man laughs and then they give each other a tight hug. He picks him up and then drops him, and it's all that, you know, that sweet sort of love. It's the love they have for their parents. They're very open about it. The love they have for their brothers, they're very open about it. The love they have for their sisters, they're very, very open about it. You know, the care for the ummah, you know, caring for each other. It's really sweet. And it shouldn't really be astonishing to me, but it is, maybe because we live in the UK and, you know, and we work here and people just do their own thing. Sometimes there's no time for family, let alone, you know, the next door neighbour or these should be normal values. The small things, and they have a big impact. The love and the care that we have for the ummah. You know, there's so many situations we see on the news and all sorts that are going on, and you know, that connection, sometimes it can be lost. Even going away, you know, it's not just about me, myself and I, and I'm just gonna go and relax there under the sun and just forget about all my worries. No, if you're gonna go to different lands, get to know the people, you know, connect with them, see what they're about, you know, eat what they eat, share what they share, pray with them side by side. Yeah, and it's so nice when you see like different, you know, schools of thought. So for example, when I'm praying, I follow the Hanafi madhab, so I put my shahada finger up once. And then, you know, the sister next to me she follows the Shafi'i madhab, so she does it in a specific way. The other one on my left follows the Maliki, so she does it in a specific way. And you can see like, but we're all standing one, shoulder to shoulder, you know, praying behind the Imam. And that's the beauty of Islam. And you know what, that's what I miss and experience a lot in Muslim lands. And Morocco is one thing, because I've been to Marrakesh, I've experienced it there. But honestly, Fez, if somebody gave me a ticket to say, go, you can go today, I would be very, very excited. And that's one thing I really, really took away and I miss the most, is the care and the love for the ummah and the care and the love that everybody has for each other. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Jazakumullah khairan for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.